Criztoz. This is part of my journey, episode 6, and this is towards the end. We've got a little thing going on after this show, but this is the almost conclusion of a 3-day, 52-hour mental health awareness raid event organised by Double P. A little bit of help from myself and Sideshow, but a ton of amazing DJs have taken part. And so far, we've raised, I think, £285 for the amazing charity Calm. That's the campaign against living miserably. It's part of Sunday Sevens. Today's a Sunday. And we have different charities. And this month's charity is Calm. We also have Movember, and we also have Chris's House, which is a charity that's very close to Ouija's heart. So before I introduce my guest for tonight, I'm just going to talk you through and say thank you to each and every DJ who's taken part over the last 3 days. So it kicked it off with Minimal P, who is Double P's son, and he's on the show in a minute. We then had Sideshow Maule, who is another guest in a minute. Jim Sharp, another guest. See what we've done there? We've got the 3 first DJs as my guests. Mixter Hoffman, Lady Melzer, Chris International, Jazz Nasty, DJ Jordan Russell, DJ Decal, 45 Finch, 45 Kings. We did the Coffee and Donut show. That's Mr. Lob, myself, Fatwax 45, and our special guest, Just Neil. Then we had Double P played a set again. Then we had Cursor 77, Fatwax again, myself, DJ Flip Out, my therapist, Butchie B. Unfortunately, Hoo Ha couldn't play, so thank you, Mark Lancaster, for stepping in. Funky Flavors, Real DJ Chrome, T2 Funk, Air Adam, Nat Jacko, DJ Tiago, DJ Fade. We were supposed to have Groove the Most, but there was an issue there. So Groove the Most is going to play a set after our show today. And then today, finishing it off, we had Flip Out this morning, BMX Steve, Funky Flavors again, and then the 45 Kings Reggae Fire Show, Mr. Lob, myself, DJ B, Sideshow Maule and Co. with Paul Sitter, Fatwax 45. That's AR with Ouija, Scotty Boy, Selectra Sunshine, DJ Bill, who's about to raid over, I believe. And then this is part of my journey. So thank you, everyone who has taken part. That is a whole host of amazing DJs from around the world. And as I said, we've raised about £270. I'm going to put the link in the chat. So if anyone would like to donate, it's still there. And it's there. It's bit.ly/donatecalm45. Right, I'm going to introduce my guests. So let me do that one there. I think I need to do. There we go. There we are. So in clockwise order for me, we're going to start with Sideshow Maule in the corner. How you doing, Sideshow?
I'm very well, thank you very much. All good, chilling in here. Normally on my dance floor, but I've got the chair up, so
you've got
relax
a nice,
the next 2 hours.
Nice throne there. I see. We'll come back to you in a minute. And then rotating, we've got Double P and we've got Minimal P in the house.
Minimal P.
Yo. Hello.
Minimal P.
He kicked off the raid, and he's part of the 45 kids. We've got ZZ45, DJ JS, Evie Wonder, lots and lots of amazing kids. The Sunday Get Down, of course. And talking of the Sunday Get Down, thanks, Jim. When we did the 45-day live stream, you gave up part of your set so that we could have the Sunday Get Down play their set. We had some technical difficulties in the morning. So how you doing, Jim?
Yeah, I'm all right. Not bad. Is my mic on?
It is on.
First question.
It is on. Can everyone hear us? And do that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say thank you. We've had the raid from DJ Bill. Thank you, everyone, for the raid. Obviously, if you're new here, make sure you hit that follow button. And we've got a talk show, and we're going to talk a little about each of you first, but then we'll move forward into a couple of issues like mental health, anxiety, panic attacks. We'll talk about streaming, lockdown, online communities, and then we've got towards the end 45s that lift our spirits, and I'm hoping you've all got some confectionery because we all like our sweets, and that's a lighter mode at the end. There we go. Sideshow's got his German sweets. We're going to go. I'm going to come to you then, Sideshow. Let's deal with you first. Well, not deal with you, but let's
get him out of the way. Get him out of the way first.
Deal with you. No. So Sideshow, you're based at the moment out in Germany, and Do you want to? You just told us the story about how you're there. I think it'd be quite interesting to hear that.
So yes, I do live now in Dusseldorf in Germany. I've been here since August 2015. I was over here on a stag weekend and I met my girlfriend. She wasn't my girlfriend at the time, obviously, but we met. I lost 25 stags. I was wandering around Dusseldorf myself in the old town, drunk, and ended up meeting a lady. And then less than a year later, I'd moved over here. So yeah.
And how have you found that? Because you were in Glasgow before, weren't you?
Yeah, Glasgow originally. Yeah.
How have you found the transition?
It was quite
Glasgow
tough at first, I would say. Yeah, because like my profession is a dancer. I'm a b-boy. I'm a breaker, popper, locker, hip hop dancer. So since 1998, I've been breaking, teaching since 2000. So I had the chance to teach in a dance school over here. So I was like, okay, let's try it. But it was really tough because I couldn't speak any German at the time.
Right.
So yeah, the children. Sehr gut, danke. A lot better, yeah. I'm one of those people who have an ear for languages, so I could pick it up quite quickly. So
yeah,
but yeah, the first 2 years wasn't so good because my language wasn't that on a high level. So yeah, the children would just run amok and go crazy, and I would have a big class, and then the numbers would dwindle very quickly. So because the kids didn't understand me. So yeah, it was quite tough actually. Yeah. And then I think it was in my second year, I did a TEFL course online. So I've been teaching English since October 2016. I think I started, yeah. So that's really helped, and since then I also got better at German, and then I could teach the children a bit more. So and currently, well, outside of the lockdown, I would be teaching in five different schools per week, plus a dance studio, the dance classes, and I have usually 12 English classes a week. So yeah, but a lot of that just stopped last March.
Yeah, is it starting again now? Well, actually, you're still in lockdown, aren't you? I think in Germany.
Yeah,
right?
on Monday I start back teaching in the schools. So yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not all of them straight away, but yeah, I think at least 4 of the schools will be back in. I'm waiting for the class on Monday to get back to me, so I don't know about that yet. But definitely Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the schools are going back next week, and they've been stopped since December. Like March to summertime was completely shut. They reopened September time after the summer holidays, and then it went all the way through to December. Then we had another lockdown, so all the classes were cancelled again, and this is them starting to open up again.
It's quite difficult teaching dance. My wife's a dance teacher. She teaches ballet and contemporary, and obviously she's been doing a lot on Zoom. And it's only the last few weeks that obviously she could teach the children back in the studio. And obviously it's only adults the last sort of week or so. And obviously it's amazing the difference it makes. And I guess, again, as a dance teacher, physically being in the same room in the studio and having space to sort of move around must really help in terms of teaching, but also we're here talking about mental health, but I guess talking about mental health as well. Actually being able to move rather than sort of being looking at the screen.
Yeah, a lot of people really can't handle it, the Zoom classes. So the dance studio where I teach, we've been doing the Zoom classes. I go to the studio and I teach from the studio, so I have a bit more space than the students. But I've had on a regular 1 student turn up every week. He's really dedicated. The rest are like, oh yeah, Zoom, can't be bothered. I have no space. So I don't know when the dance studio will reopen fully, but it's much, much harder doing it from your home. Like I'm lucky I have a bit of space here. I can do a lot of stuff here. But some people just don't have that luxury at home. They have a small space.
We've witnessed your egg rolls there.
Yes, I have enough room for an egg roll.
yeah. Cool. We'll come back to you in a bit. Right, WP, how are you doing today? You organised this raid event. How do you feel about it? How do you think it's gone? And then we'll come back to why we set it up in the first place.
It's gone well, isn't it? I mean, we had a few hiccups, but technical issues and things like that. But I think for a 52-hour raid train to go as smoothly as it did with a little hiccup, and all the DJs that participated took all their time out, helped me organise it with yourself and Sideshow. I think it's an amazing events. It's something I've always wanted to do, because obviously the mental health side of it is a big part of my life, so, and a big part of a lot of people's lives as we're here now. So it's great. It's stressful, really stressful. I said to Sideshow, I think, was it like 3 o'clock in the morning? No, was it 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock this morning? So I'm going to look like the coyote off Roadrunner with the cracked eyes and then look like I've been hit by a bus. But it's worth it, man. You know, it's 100% worth it. It's worth the stress. It's worth the time to organise it. It's just worth it. Period. Yeah, it's great. But I mean, yeah, big ups to all the DJs that took part. Big ups to Jim and you know, Mick Stoltzman, Lady Malden, all the people that you've mentioned, you know, at the start of the show. So we'll do it again, but not as often. We'll do another one. I think we're discussed about every quarter to do it, depending on how this goes. So yeah, it's brilliant. But yeah, it's great. It'll probably take me a couple of days to come down, I think. But
yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, there's always something going on Twitch, isn't it? Because we had the Shambra last weekend, and obviously this as well.
Shambra.
We'll come back again in a minute about you know why we did this. I'm going to introduce Jim. How you doing, Jim?
Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm all right.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Thanks for playing. I think it was Friday, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah. It was Friday at 9 p.m.
Yeah. How did you find the set? How did you?
I mean, like to kind of dive right into it a little bit. You know, I know a lot of DJs handle playing live differently, whether it's a live set at a venue or at an event or live streaming or. I suffer from anxiety and I so to try to battle that I battle it with preparation. I'm always usually very prepared and so on Friday it's been a long kind of like 2-3 weeks of just work and like and we'll get into this as well, but high demands on myself. I'm very demanding of myself. So yeah, when Friday rolled around, I got to be honest with you, I wasn't feeling like I even wanted to play.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm also a man of my word, and I know, you know, we'll get into this later as well. Saying no at times is a healthy thing to do for yourself.
Yeah.
But you know, when you've committed to something that I'm just the type of person I am, I always go through with it. So when it came to the set, in all honesty, my head wasn't 100% in it because I'd had a bit of a rough day. Like leading up to it as well. So but it was you know, the funny thing about DJing and streaming and stuff like that, there has been a bunch of times that I haven't felt like doing it, and by the end of it I've kind of had some fun with it as well, so that kind of eases anxieties and stresses and things like that. So yeah, but overall it was a fun set, I think.
So I'm just going to pick up on that last point, obviously, because I get what you're saying entirely. Sometimes, you know, you've agreed to do something, you DJ, and then it just doesn't. You know, you're not really necessarily in the mood, and then you start. Does that apply to live sets when you're out DJing, or do you find that more for live streaming? And is it the connection with the chat that sort of makes it okay by the end of it, or what is it that sort of?
So I still get anxiety about live sets as well. And I guess for me the lovely thing, like and you guys probably can tell this, when I DJ, I put my head down and I DJ. Like I put a lot of work in, flipping a lot of records. So I would much rather just have my head down, like working, and not having to look at a screen and not having to talk on the mic to the chat, and not having to like stay cognizant of what other people are doing. Ideally, I'd just like to stay focused on what I'm doing. But you know, over the past year, I've had to learn how to, like, you know, host on the mic and kind of flip the switch off and on between host and DJing, and you know, it's another skill that has come out of all of this. But if I had my way, I would just DJ, really, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Twitch is it's different. I mean, and I was just saying to the guys before, I've literally just come from a barbecue thing that I've DJ'd at, and it was quite nice in a way to literally just play music. Obviously, you're sort of looking up and seeing what's going on, but you're not having to worry about who's in the chat. You know, make sure you shout that person out, or, you know, make sure you're keeping in, you know, there might be a question or whatever. So yeah, no, I totally get it. And especially, like you say, the sets that you prepare and flipping records and you know, the original, you know, the remix and the re-edit and stuff, you know, you just need to concentrate on that. So it is a very different skill that we've all gradually picked up. So are you looking forward to getting back in the clubs and the bars and being able just to concentrate on that? Do you think?
Yeah, 1,000%. Like yeah, listen, so I put up a post, I want to say 2 months ago now, on IG that got a lot of traction, and it wasn't necessarily meant to get, like, I wasn't doing it for clout, or I wasn't doing it to stunt or to like you know, try to seem like I was above anyone or anything like that. But I put a post up basically saying, you know, streaming isn't for everyone. Not everyone's able to stream. People have neighbors. People, you know, some people don't have the equipment. Some people, you know, just are not able to stream. And for those who have done it and run with it and flourished in it and learned these new skills, you know, we should big them up like 1,000%, and give them our support as DJs. But I said, things are slowly going to open up soon, and we're going to be back in our natural environment, and where there's no chat room, where there's no you know, green screens or internet connections to worry about. That you just have to DJ. So, you know, for all those DJs who aren't streaming and having anxiety about it, or worried about, you know, I'm not streaming, I'm not keeping up, I'm not keeping up my presence and things like that. I was just trying to, I guess, give them a shout out and say it's cool. Like, it's soon you'll be back to clubs where you should be. I think a big thing was too that you know, a lot of DJs who didn't stream, and some who did stream, like, obviously the pandemic affected everyone's job, but a lot of DJs, like, their identity, their self-worth, their self-identity is tied into being a DJ. That's who they are, right? And in a second, that got taken away from a lot of DJs. And, you know, some adapted, but others were a bit lost about it. And probably a lot of DJs had existential crises. I mean, I know personally of DJs who, like, quit DJing and started trying to find other work and stuff just because they thought it was over for them. So I you know, it's don't get me wrong, the pandemic has been hard on everyone, but for DJs who associate with who they are, with their profession, you know, I feel like it was a double blow.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And I guess there was this whole uncertainty. I mean, things are starting to, you know, you're living in the UK like I am, and Double P, and things just seem to be starting to move back to normal now, although we've got, you know, Indian variant and whatever's going to come next. But I guess it was the uncertainty for a long period of time, as, you know, our club's ever going to open, our bar's ever going to open again, am I going to get back into that? You know, and like you say, not everyone can adapt or want or even wants to stream. You know, I mean, there's that issue as well. You know, some people just don't want to do it. But Yeah, I mean, I big up anyone who's managed to get themselves a Twitch channel and an IG channel, who's managed to get out there, because it's putting that vulnerability, it's putting yourself in front of the camera, much more so than you would do in a club. Because in a club, you're sort of hiding behind the decks and the speakers. But big up anyone who's got in front of a camera and done a stream. And again, like you say, big up to anyone who hasn't, because some DJs want to do it, some don't. But we'll
yeah.
Sorry, Jim, go on, carry on.
Oh, and I was just gonna say, like me personally, I feel very blessed in London to have my own studio room with has my turntables, has my computer, has a lot of my records and stuff like that in this room. But this room is a glorified closet. Like, I can almost touch each wall if I stretch out. You only get one angle in this room, basically, because I simply, there's not enough room to do other angles and stuff like that. So, even me personally, I was talking to Mark about this, and Mark was like, Mark Hype, he was like, Jim, you should change your studio around so you can do a front on angle. And I was like, bro, it's like a step and a half to the door. There's literally no room to do that. This studio was meant to be a DJ production studio, is not meant to be a TV studio. So there's the other half of it as well for people streaming. Where do they stream from? And are they comfortable doing that? Anyway.
So what you're telling us, you can't do an egg roll like Sideshow.
I can hardly do a pirouette in here.
Maybe on the next stream, but no, I know exactly what you mean, because your camera's sort of up to the left, isn't it? Sort of facing down. And for a long time, my decks were against the wall, and I had that side on, and then I had thankfully just about enough space to rearrange it to sort of make it. But again, putting yourself front and center of the camera is again quite a big thing. It's quite nice just having that side shot. You're just playing and sort of looking up every now and again. So again, it's a big step, I think. But yeah, we'll come back to you, Jim. Thanks. That's really interesting. Yeah,
no problem.
Sideshow. How have you found? Because you've been in lockdown a lot, and obviously we've talked about the fact that you haven't been able to teach. How have you found being in lockdown for such a long time on your mental health? And how have you stream quite a lot? Not quite a lot as much as Sam, but you're on quite a lot.
Oh, we were having a fight for a while. We were having a competition. How many times per week can you stream? Well, let's go.
Does it help? Does Twitch streaming help you?
Well, I'm probably quite a weird guy. I had a lot of fun last year in lockdown. Not many people did, but yeah, I'm probably one of the only ones who had a lot of fun. Yeah, so 2019, I had an operation on my foot. I had an operation done to get my foot fixed. So from 2019, summer 2019, up until winter 2019, I was out of commission, and then slowly get back into it. 2020 and I was like, okay, this is it, let's go for it. And I was starting to train again. January, February, I was training on the regular. And obviously March hit, boom, everything shut. All the training spots were closed, studios were closed. I was still really motivated at the time. So the first few months, March, April, May, I think, I was still training quite a lot. I had online community with the breakers. So I was training every week with breakers around the world. I had enough space here. I just push a few things to the side. And then, I was just training still. So I was like, okay, I've got lots of spare time. I'll just practice, get better, get fitter. And then I seen some people were streaming. I was like, okay, let's try that. And I was doing it on Facebook. I think I was doing it on Instagram as well. But obviously, Instagram was much harder than Facebook. They were just chop you right off, kick you out. Yeah. It was funny because I was getting away with it for hours and hours on end, and every week I was wasn't getting chopped off. I was like, this is weird. How am I the only one that can stream on Facebook?
That underground music that you were playing that Facebook.
I would like to say it was the underground music, but I think it was actually the problem with my audio connections. If you remember the Germany stream we did, the 12-hour 45 Kings Germany stream.
Yeah,
I had the audio problems. It was it sounded like all the music was dragging or lagging a little bit. and I listened to some of my older streams from Facebook days, and it had that same problem. So I think the algorithm bots couldn't catch it. So I was like streaming. I even played Prince all the time, and they weren't kicking me off. I was like, played Prince, and they're not kicking me off. That's strange. So yeah. So
Did you say
more
Friends?
Prince.
Oh, I thought you said Friends.
No, I don't have the Friends record, sadly. Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Joey. Hey.
I'll be there for.
Is that on a 45? Has anyone got that on 45?
It must be.
I'm not a friend.
Sam Tweak's probably carved it.
Yeah, maybe that's what we're going to get. Sideshow on the B side.
Oh, what's on the B side? What could be on the B side? So where were we? Yeah, Facebook, and I think it was Scratch Bastard that I seen was on Twitch, and I was like, oh, he was the first guy I watched on Twitch, and I was like, what is this Twitch? Scratch Bastard's playing. I don't care. Let's watch Scratch Bastard for hours. And that's when I first found out about Twitch, and then through that I started researching more about streaming, and I found Restream, and I was like, yeah, you can stream to Facebook, you can stream to YouTube, and Twitch, all for free on the free account. So I hooked up a Twitch account, and YouTube was already hooked up, so I was like, okay, let's stream, multi-stream to all these different places. So I was streaming to Twitch, and I had no friends, and I didn't even look at the screen. I was like, okay, yeah, blah blah blah. I'm still with Facebook because I had friends there. But a few people would watch me every weekend. I was only doing Friday, Saturday usually. Give a party atmosphere for people in lockdown at home. And then I think I joined the Kings channel, Facebook group, 45 Kings. And through that, then you had the 24-hour stream, and that's when I was like, okay, let's switch to Twitch because Facebook is dying. And it seems like there's a community on Twitch, so I was like, okay, let's focus more on Twitch. And at the same time, I think Mixcloud were in the works with their live streaming, but they weren't hooked up with Restream at the time, so I couldn't stream at the same time to Twitch and Mixcloud. So again, I just concentrated more on Twitch, and then Mixcloud were involved with Restreams. I was like, okay, so now I stream YouTube, Mixcloud, and Twitch at the same time. So Twitch for everyone that's there, Mixcloud so I can upload the audio afterwards, and YouTube so the video's there. If you want to watch the videos of me doing egg rolls to no music because it'll be muted.
Sorry, I'm just saying. Someone called Maths Debater 34. Welcome to the channel. He says, "Oi, geezer on the chair." Anyway, So, do you find that helped? Yeah. Do you find that helped in your mental health and being able to just get on and stream and?
It gave me something to do. Yeah, I was still dancing a little bits and pieces, but not too much. And then I really kind of switched all to DJing. Also, I'm not a DJ. Just thought I'd add that there. I'm not an actual DJ. I'm a fraud. Yeah, I just play records. I'm a selector.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I just let a record run out and then play the next one. Don't expect any flashy skills or mixing.
I mean, that's one of the beauties of Twitch, isn't it? That you can play pretty much whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whenever you want. That's part of the beauty. I'm just going to add Paul back in because I think we've had some issues. Right, we'll come back to you in a bit, Sideshow.
All right.
Paul, are you okay? Are you back in again now? Your mic's off. Oh, let's mute your mic now. We've got technical issues. It was going quite well. No, still can't hear you. Not yet.
Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Okay, so at the bottom of the stream of the screen, it says cam and mic. If you click on cam and mic and then go into audio, make sure the drop down is on internal audio or a built-in mic or whatever it might be.
Oh, he's gone again. All right, we'll get him back. We'll get him back. I mean, Jim, that's just a prime example of the community, isn't it? That people are always willing to help and get everyone streaming and help everyone get on that. And that's certainly something I've found. And have you found that as well with the community?
Yeah, so the whole community aspect is really great. I don't think I've, other than Mr. Maths Debater, I haven't seen too many like people trying to take the mick or people like, I haven't seen too many negative comments of. Generally everyone is supportive of everyone else, and as far as like the whole tech side of it, man, like I've done so much tech support for people trying to get their streams up and going and right, and I obviously, well, I did a lot of that with different people because of Wednesdays on Wax, but yeah, no, I Twitch is a great community as well. So and I think that's what like Mixcloud is missing out on. Like they don't have like a built-in sort of community hub into every stream. It's just kind of like a watching situation, and I think if they added that in,
okay,
they would start winning a bit. Are you there, P?
Yeah, I think so, mate. Can you hear me?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'll come back to you.
Something. It was cancelling it out, so apologies about that.
That's all right.
I'm not touching it. I'm not going to go back just in case. Yeah. Can you see me though? Yeah, that's fine.
I can see. Can I just check? I've
Who is this dude on here?
I've blocked Maths Debater. Can I just check that he's blocked and no one can see him?
Yeah, we can see. I don't know what the Bob will take over. No, he's still there.
I thought I've blocked him. We just need to ban him somehow. But no, it's a real shame. Real shame. He's just copying and pasting. Right, let's see if we can get rid of him.
So I think you actually have to go into your Twitch page to do it. I don't think you can do it through StreamYard.
Moderator just banned him.
I'm on my I blocked him on that.
There you go. He's gone now, mate.
All right, good. Thanks, Sideshow. Again, the beauty of Sideshow is my main mod, and I think I did the same for him the other day. And it's again coming back to community and just getting rid of the. I mean, he's just there, just negativity for absolutely no reason. I mean, he's come into a chat show. At the end of the day, Twitch, if you don't like what you're watching, go to another channel. There's a billion other channels that you can go to, and it's just a real shame that someone comes in and just tries to be an idiot. I could use much more colourful language, but
let's not give him any more airtime at this point.
No,
there's very few.
Exactly.
In the whole few months I've been on Twitch,
exactly.
I've seen very few people like that.
Paul, we've got your mic going. Let's get back to you.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
That's all right. Okay, so this show exists effectively because we exchanged some messages, and you talked to me about your mental health, and you made some comments about what your son James had said to you about the streaming and playing music and Twitch had really helped your mental health, and that's been a really good thing. But I think, like most people, you told me even just last week, you struggle, and it sort of swings from one thing to another, doesn't it? Sometimes it's good, and sometimes your mental health is bad. Even a few weeks ago, you were telling me that you thought about giving it up, giving the DJing up. So can you talk us through that? So when you get into that sort of situation where you're wanting to give something up like DJing, what do you do in terms of trying to get yourself back in, or who do you make contact with, or how do you deal with it?
Well, I had a chat with Jim actually phoned me up about it as well and gave me some advice. And the thing is, I think it's because you put this such big. Well, for me, I put too much pressure on myself, and I don't like letting people down. I'm always I can't describe it. It's really difficult to explain. I just think that sometimes there's too many politics going on with certain things, as we discussed before. That's a different subject, but I just think I think when for me with the you know, when we had lockdown, it's affected people really badly, with jobs and things like that. On the flip side, if we flip it to a positive in some respects, it's made a good community. We'll, you know, us four wouldn't be sat here talking now, and we wouldn't be having people in the chat, and we wouldn't have a 52-hour raid train. It wouldn't happen. So when the lockdown measures start to lift, for me, it's like, okay, you know, there's going to be people playing out, and you know, because I'm so new, I'm not unestablished. I'm not even a DJ really. I'm just, I don't know. But anyway, so I've been going for like 2 years, and like done one live gig that was for the SGBC, and then I did the couple of Facebook live streams, and then I did Twitch, and then it's just gone from there, and it's just like, you know, quite a lot of events. And the worry for me was that all these people that I've made contact with, because it is like a big family, they're all going to, I mean, rightly so, like Jim said, people do it for a living, so they've got to make that money. As simple as that. But for me, it's the fear of the community disappearing, and that, do you know what I mean? So I can't explain it in a logical way. It's just, yeah. But you know, we make good contacts, and for me I didn't want to hit that disappointment wall where I'll be facing another challenge of how am I going to deal with some disappointment. I don't take disappointment too good. I've had a lot of disappointment in my life before I met my wife, and before I've had my son, and I don't want that to reoccur. I'm always, like, you know, on the defensive. I'm always overanalyzing things. I'm always trying to please everybody, you know, and yeah. So this is why I thought to myself, you know what? If I'm not in that situation where I can't push myself or push myself, I don't think I'm good enough. You're rubbish. So I just thought, you know what? Too many politics. Twitch is going to come down. People are going to play out. You're not going to get the opportunity. I just thought, you know what? Let's cut it now.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I weigh in? Do you mind if I weigh in real quick? So, Paul, like it's interesting because like I suffer from some of the same things that you were talking about fear of disappointment and fear of like things going wrong, like putting your heart and soul into something and then it going tits up or whatever, like and then like also overanalyzing and catastrophizing of when things are going to go wrong and things like that. And I think in all honesty, those are pretty classic traits of anxiety. And I'm not marginalizing how you're feeling, but I guess what I'm saying is that like with everything in life, like all of those feelings get put into all areas of life as well. So I completely understand. Like you've been killing the streaming, man. Like you're a big part of the community, and so it's completely understandable that you're catastrophizing about something that possibly might have an expiration date on it. But like from me to you, I think you've made great friends and great contacts so far in what you're doing, and it's just about thinking about how you maintain those and take them forward.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that'll happen, man. I'm sure it will.
I think, and I think the community is here, isn't it? I mean, it's not. I don't think what we've built between all of us over the last year is a limited thing that's going to have an expiry date. I mean, we're all. I know certainly from my personal point of view, we're all friends at the end of the day. You know, we've all shared the last year and a half, which has been a crazy time for everyone, and we've shared that together. online, on Twitch, on Messenger, on, Facebook groups and all the rest of it. So, this is a period of our life that we would always remember. I mean, no one's going to forget this period of their life. And we have made good friends. And, I totally get what you're saying. Maybe once gigs start going on, people stop going on Twitch, or people won't be on Twitch as much, or the chat won't be there because people are out doing, barbecues, family, whatever they're doing. But ultimately, it's like friends in real life, isn't it? You don't see your friends on a daily basis.
No, it's true.
Them. And so, like we've said, okay, it may not be the same, and we may not be on Twitch, all week or whatever it is. But even just organising something like this weekend, even once the bars and the clubs and everything's open, there's no reason why we don't still do this. Because Twitch is international. There's DJs all over the world who are always going to come together for such a good thing. So I totally get where you're coming from. And you might think, okay, Twitch might stop tomorrow. And I guess if Twitch, after that email we had about copyright, if Twitch suddenly gets to the point where they're going to be muting live streams for DJs, then obviously Twitch probably will die. DJ, but we just don't know. And again, it's that uncertainty. We just don't know what's going to happen. And go from there. Jim, I'm going to bring you back. Obviously, you explained, about the anxiety. How do you? I'm not going to say deal with it, because I don't know if you do deal with it. But when you notice that your anxiety is present, is there anything you do to try and counter that, or try and get you through it? And like you say, for example, to complete your stream or get on and stream, what do you normally do?
Mostly heroin. No, I'm kidding.
Sure at this point.
Sorry about that. Just kidding. My arms only have tattoos on them. Okay, so so I was explaining on my Friday night stream at the start that I have certain triggers that make my anxiety worse. And I know what those triggers are, right? Like, and I think we all probably know what our triggers are, and that make us feel worse, or get the hamsters rolling, or what have you. So, like,
sorry.
That's all right. My triggers are like being hungover, not getting enough sleep, being overworked. Caffeine's a pretty big one. So I suppose it's kind of balancing those. But the problem is the anxiety never goes. So it's not something that ever gets turned off. And it's just I guess what I was saying before, like if I feel like I'm prepared and ready and ready to do something, then my anxiety is a lot lower, because I don't have any worries about what my performance is going to be like, or what I'm going to say, or how people are going to take me when I'm doing my craft, right? As far as everything, so that's how like staying away from triggers and being prepared, and getting sleep, man. Like getting a good night's sleep is like the magic elixir for most of these things. Like, and if you're not, like, during lockdown, at the start of lockdown, I had a frozen shoulder where I couldn't like reach behind my back or do that or anything. And every morning I would wake up at 5:30, 6 in the morning in absolute agony. So even if I went to sleep early, I still wasn't getting good sleep all night. So I was like dying as far as my mental health for like months because of my shoulder. But anyway, yeah, lots of sleep. That's my biggest key, I think.
And that is important, especially when we've got Twitch, which is like 24 hours a day. I mean, Sideshow, I know that you would
24/7, mate. Oh god,
often stay up quite late. I don't know if you do it quite so much now, but I think when Twitch was first a big thing, you'd be staying up quite late.
Oh, I still do it, mate. Yeah, like Mark Lancaster said, what's sleep? Yeah.
I know, sort of, fear of missing out a particular DJ set, or missing in the in the chat, or fear of missing out with your community, or
Yeah, a little bit of that as well. Yeah, I would say FOMO, fear of missing out the next DJ or some great records to buy. Yeah, it's just like I also like watching people. If you're on one of these like mega long raid trains, I like to try and see as many people as possible, especially if you've booked them. Like, can you play for me at such a time? And you're like, damn, I have to stay up to like 3 a.m. to watch them. But yeah, last week was amazing, but also like really, really hardcore. The Shambra weekend, 5-day weekend. So it started on the Wednesday and went all the way to like our time Monday morning, sometime like 3 in the morning. And I was waking up early. I had Mark Lancaster. He was on the early shift, 8 a.m. UK time.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to be up for him because he's like my first guest. And I think I was up an hour before that to tune in just in case any problems. So like 7 a.m. or something, 8 a.m. I was awake. Watched most of the day, went and taught a class. I still had Twitch on during the class. ZZ45 was playing and the Sunday Get Down were playing. As soon as the class was finished, I had Twitch back on again. And then, yeah, the whole night, I think I went to bed at 3 or something. And then again, waking up super early, like 8 or 9 in the morning. And the first thing I do is switch Twitch on. Like, who's playing? Oh, okay, great. Yeah, amazing. And that happened for like 5 days. Yeah.
Maule, do you mind if I ask a quick question here? Do you think that's healthy for you?
Definitely not.
And I'm not judging. I just like genuinely have you taken stock of that and thought, you know, maybe I should give this a rest here and there?
Yeah, it's definitely not healthy. I can definitely testify to that because since then I've had a cold and it's like a week already. So yeah, after Sam Tweak's birthday marathon in February, I was ill for like 6 weeks. And I think it was definitely like staying up far too late, waking up far too early, not enough sleep, and then sitting in front of a computer for like 18 hours or something. So it's definitely not healthy for you. Yeah, and I was really run down. Just now I'm still feeling a bit run down, but not as bad as I was on Sam's birthday in February. I've always been one of those people. Generally, I don't wake up too early. I'll stay up late and then I would sleep till like 12, so I was getting still 8 hours sleep. But yeah, I stopped doing that when I moved to Germany, really. I was usually in quite a good pattern for the first time in many, many years, probably since high school. I was going to bed at a reasonable time, 11 or 12, waking up 8 in the morning or something, and feeling a lot more refreshed. I also stopped smoking the green stuff when I moved over here as well. And the first thing I noticed is I could dream again. I was like, oh, I dream again and I can get a good night's sleep. So knocking that in the head after like, well, I probably started smoking when I was like 16 or something. So 16 until 6 years ago. So like 36, like 20 years of smoking hardcore. And then just stopping it pretty much. And then I got in a good pattern of sleep and I felt a lot healthier. Then I started putting on weight. Oh God, you can see it wobble. So yeah, sleep is definitely a key, and it's something I've always not had enough of. I always stayed up too late. I'm a night owl.
I used to be the same. Yeah, I'm not quite so bad now because I've got to get up and go to work and look after my daughter as well. But Mary Stem's made a point, you know, and I think it's sort of tongue in cheek a little bit, but you know, saying Twitch is mildly addictive, but it is addictive. It is really addictive, isn't it? And I think because for so long there was nothing else going on, and obviously a lot of people were in lockdown, and other than work, it was like work, come home, Twitch already. But I mean, do you think as lockdown eases that Twitch addiction will perhaps fade off a little bit as well?
Possibly, yeah. I'll probably still wake up and the first thing I do is switch on Twitch to see who's live. So I have some nice music in the morning to get me moving. But then I'll say, if I'm back teaching English classes every day, then my hours will drop. If I'm back teaching the dance classes, as of next week, I will be. So it'll just generally be maybe evening times when I watch it, which would be bad because then it'll be evening time into nighttime into morning. So yeah. But I do have a few people. Adri Guao. Shout out to Adri Guao. She's always telling me, Maule, go to sleep. And now I have D Rosie and a few other people like Maule, go to sleep. Like, okay, yeah.
I
Yes,
think
Mum.
Jim's also suggesting we all get a lot more sleep, and I think that's very, very good advice. I think it's really good advice.
Mhm.
I mean, I know from my own experience. Obviously, I've run the 45 Kings teams, and I've done that for the last year or so. But again, sitting in front of a screen for 8 hours or 12 hours or 24 hours or whatever, it just isn't. It isn't good for you. And I'm certainly, although I run a lot of raid events, I'm certainly trying to slow down a little bit in terms of how much I'm doing, because again, I don't think it is healthy. It's good because it's got the community, but I don't think on a general level doing it to the extent that we all probably have been is healthy.
No. I definitely like if I don't feel up for a stream, I'll just not do it. Cause for a little while, I touched on it a few minutes ago. I was streaming a lot, like after August, after the Kings 24-hour thing, I was just like going non-stop, like maybe 5 days a week or something, streaming. I think I burnt myself out again with that a bit. So yeah, now I'm just like, if I don't feel like it, I'm just like, no, I'm not doing the stream. I'll just cancel it and just relax and watch Twitch.
Well, that's good. Exactly. I mean, you're not. There's no obligation to stream, and you're not letting anyone down. But I think Danny Bounce, who was the guest on Monday, and he makes a very good point. I think Twitch has held us hostage, and we've all got Stockholm syndrome. I think that's probably a very good way of putting it.
Danny Bounce.
Yeah. Big ups, Danny Bounce.
DB always comes in with the knowledge, with the jewels.
We had good fun chatting to him on Monday.
Mintola.
The Ask Council.
The Ask Council, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
That was great.
Shout out to Fat Wax.
Shout out to Fat Wax, exactly. Ask Council.
It was good. Paul, I'm going to bring you back in. One of the things, obviously, as part of the raid was Minimal P started off the raid event. He played as part of 45 Kings, and I know from my own experience, obviously, with my daughters, Easy 45, it's been really good being able to share my experience and my love of music and sort of pass that on, and obviously spend some quality time. It's really important, especially when I'm spending so much time watching Twitch. It's nice to have that sort of that. How have you found streaming, obviously with James, and how have you found the sort of bond and over music, and how that's helped your relationship with him?
I mean, it's great that we share the same passion. He's like into his martial arts as well. So when he started playing on the decks, I think it was about 6 months ago, we started playing on them. So he started doing that, and then we did the 45 Kids show.
Yeah.
And I was just amazed at watching him on the decks, and he was scratching and MCing and blending, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to keep pursuing it with him, because I think it's important to extend the wax knowledge, so to speak. But it's great. I mean, to see him do what he did for an hour, talking, interacting with people, and kids just tell it how it is, and he was just scratching and moving the crossfader and the echoing, and for he's picked that knowledge up from watching me, not scratching because I can't scratch. But then I got him to watch Beach Street. And then he's rhyming Beach Street stuff, and then he's doing MC rhymes with his kids at school. So I'm going to get him to do. I think I'm going to do like a minimal P and a double P like stream now and then with him, just to keep him going. And I mean, Kevin Dink Records sent him some promos, and Paul Crashtalker Smith sent him some promos. So I bought him a record box to start storing his records for him. So he's going to have his own little record collection, and then he can have all that.
Hey Paul, have you thought of maybe some DJ school for him?
Yeah, could do.
And you? No, just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but like,
Jimmy, are you starting a DJ?
sorry, dude. Sorry,
Are you
dude.
school?
But DJ school for kids, getting good teachers that aren't your dad to teach you how to do things is a great way to learn.
DJ Fade, he does a school. I think, I don't know if he's in the chat. Oh, John might know. But Mr. Musto might know. Fade does a school. So but I'll give up DJing then.
I think a Funky Chef
Steal his notes.
I'm just teasing you, Paul. If I didn't think you could take it, I wouldn't have said it.
You got Grant in the car now.
Well, yeah.
DJ school. There you go. So me and James are going to sign up for DJ.
They might do a 2-for-1 special or an OAP special.
I could go and watch him.
Yeah. Do you think he'll charge you to go and watch him?
Hey, I don't mind paying to Fade. That's his business, you know. So it doesn't bother me. Whatever it costs, you know.
Fat Wax, we're not going to send him to Spain. It's all done on Zoom.
Send me to Spain.
But Jim, you like I said earlier, you had the Sunday Get Down as part of that, and what's your phrase? Jim Sharp does it for the kids, something like that, or representing the kids.
No, when so it really bummed me out when this Sunday. So I was tuning in to the 45 day, and I was watching a couple of sets at the start. There was that the homie from Ottawa. He played a bunch of who was it?
DJ Magnificent.
Yeah, DJ Magnificent. Yeah. He was a great set. So and then I said, oh, the Sunday Get Down's next, so I'll tune in. And I tune in and I see you behind the decks, and I was like, what a letdown! No, I'm kidding.
I want a refund. I want my money back.
But then I heard, and then you explained. You were like, yeah, so there was technical difficulties, and I just felt really gutted for them, and so then when you're like, oh, it's so nice, I said, well, Jim Sharp's for the children, like Wu-Tang is for the children, but let's not keep that as a catchphrase in any way, shape, or form. Thank you very much.
We'll just been recorded live.
But thank you so much. That was great. I think what it was is I've been set this 1080p 3.5 gig, and my laptop unfortunately is too old and it just didn't like it. But yeah, no, I'm really pleased, and I mean, it all came from my daughter's easy saying, seeing me streaming and saying, we should get some kids streaming, and I was like, okay, well, go and play. And then JS, Mr. Lob's son, had played on that, and then it just grew from there. And it's amazing that so many kids are into it. And I think for me, trying to explain it to someone else, it's really cool that they're into 7-inch vinyl. It's bonkers, this vinyl is 3, 4, 5 times as old as most of them are. Some of these records they're playing from like the 70s, 60s, they're all like 7, 8. I think the Sunday Get Down might be 11, 13, I think the older boy.
11 and 13, yeah.
Yeah, so these records they're playing are like 3 or 4 times older than them, and it's brilliant. I think it's amazing, and it's that whole tactile. It wouldn't be the same if they were, no disrespect to anyone playing Serato, playing Tractor, but it wouldn't be the same if we had these kids in front of a laptop streaming through, picking a tune, and then
absolutely
it isn't the same. And we're lucky that we firstly have got the ability to be able to buy these records, but also the fact that we can share them with our kids. So
for sure.
So
okay. Just a little side note on that as well. Well, once again, big shout out to the Sunday Get Down. Yesterday, I went to so I had a pretty hectic week of shipping and receiving because of the two new releases I did on Bandcamp Friday. I actually shipped them out all myself and had to print off all the labels and customs, and absolute nightmare. Anyway, so once that was all done, I was sending a couple promo packs out, and so I sent Coco a big old promo pack of stuff, and right alongside Coco's promo pack was a lovely promo pack for the Sunday Get Down. So they're in good company, and I want to see them grow and get better. I want to see those guys take over the scene.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's no reason. I mean, they're, not that we're anything big, but they're playing on Ace of Raids, and I think Sam's trying to organise something in the background. But yeah, I mean, there's no reason why even now they couldn't get booked to play festivals and things like that.
Definitely.
And yeah, just as long as school doesn't interfere with them, but that should be.
And they have some more Lego videos in the background.
Yeah, the Lego as well.
They killed it with those Lego videos, man. Oh my god.
But again, with Lego, it's like
stop motion Lego videos.
Yeah.
What?
45 thing she built. I'm just going to get that. Hold on a second.
What's happening?
Sorry. I'm just going to make it. My daughter built.
Oh, the Lego 45. Yeah.
Oh, amazing! That's crazy.
Cool, man.
So dope.
But again, it's just creativity, isn't it? It's not just about music. It's just expanding their brains and getting them to do different things. Right, I'm just going to do a little plug here because obviously this whole show and this whole stream, if I can get into the chat, my keyboard's died. Okay, so we are trying to raise money for CALM, Campaign Against Living Miserably. That's one of 3 charities that we support as part of Sunday Sevens. The other one is Movember, and the other one is Chris's House, which is a charity that's very close to Ouija's heart because of that. I'm just going to look and see how much we've done. About £270, I think. Yeah, about £280. We're at 80% of the target. We're at 404. If you haven't, and if you can and are able to donate, then obviously that would be great. The link is
404 is a weird number. Get rid of that.
404 is a weird number.
Let me make a donation. There was no time machine called 404, or was there?
My co-DJ Adrian is called Big 404. Just a little side thing.
Sorry, Adrian.
Error 404. But thank you to everyone who has donated so far. The link is live and it's just a sort of rolling on each month. And again, as I said at the beginning of the stream, thank you to everyone who's been part of this. It's been amazing. Again, the community's come together. Everyone's give up their time. Ultimately, yes, they're all streaming on their channel, but everyone's giving up their time to stream and to play for a really good cause. And it's nice that we can give something back. We're all very lucky in being able to stream, and it's great that we can all come together and actually do something. Definitely. Right.
Yeah, we have to try and use our reach or whatever, use our powers for the better good.
Yeah, and I think we've all struggled. This last 18 months, we've all had issues, and it's been really tough. And it's good that there's charities out there. And they're not the only charity. There's lots of other charities, and I'm just putting up there. If you'd like to talk about any mental health issues, there's mind.org.uk, Time to Change, Mental Health, Samaritans, Calm Zone, UK Movember. There's lots of charities, and I think, like we've said on this show a few times, it's just pick up the phone or send a message to someone. I know, Paul, you've done that with me. You've sent me a message. And I'm not a mental health practitioner. I'm not someone who can give you advice, but it's just someone being there, isn't it? Really, just someone firstly who you can talk to. And I know it's not just me. I know there's lots of other people in the group and the community. I mean, how have you found having this community has helped your mental health? Assuming it has, of course.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just think that. Seeing a reason to some people, like I speak to my wife because she's obviously with the police and that, so she knows of mental health. I speak to you, I speak to John, I spoke to Jim a few times, I spoke to a lot of people, and sometimes it's nice to hear somebody else, look at the problem, and then give you a logical answer that will sit with your brain. Does that make any sense? Am I talking?
Yeah, no, it does make sense. So, I mean, you say a logical answer. Is that because your brain is coming, like we said, in terms of thinking of things in the worst case scenario, or like we said earlier, like a catastrophe scenario? Is that what you mean?
So what was the question again, Criztoz, mate? Sorry.
I was just saying about how talking to people helps. And you said that when you speak to someone, it helps having some sort of logical reason to what you're telling them, and I mean,
like I think the thing is with mental health, and as we spoke before, anxiety, you're always thinking the worst case scenario. You're always overanalyzing. You're always, if somebody doesn't say hello to you in the chat, I know it might sound stupid, but if somebody doesn't say hello to you in the chat, and you've said to her, and then you're thinking, hang on a minute, have I offended these people? Something like that. And then your brain just goes way down some route that it's like, well, hang on a minute, So yeah, I mean, talking to people on here, I mean, we've got a great community. It's helped. I mean, I don't know where we would be now with the lockdown and not Twitch, big enough Twitch, but the community that we built. I don't think a lot of people would have got through it if it wasn't for this. I don't know. Mentally, I mean. I think we've supported each other, and that's important. And we're gone in one direction. And if anybody sort of, starts lagging and we people help each other out. Not everybody is happy to talk about things. I understand that, but I find it easier to speak to, like, my wife, yourself, Jim, Mr. Musto, quite a few people, Ouija, 80 Finch, but we're all, and it's surprising that we're all in the same. I find it really interesting that it's not just me that's going through it. It's lots and lots of people, and it's a common thing, and it's such a taboo subject. And it's really important that it's not a taboo subject. People need to talk to people, everybody, and help each other. But sometimes your brain, I have to push myself sometimes to just do something. I mean, me and my wife went to Kitsch yesterday with Sam. We met over with Sam, and Faith was playing with John as well, John Musto and DJ Gids. So we all met up over there yesterday, and I think that's the first time I've ever not questioned going out or not talked myself out of doing something. First time. And before, I'd be like, I ain't doing that. I don't want to do that because it's too much fun. But I think the DJing on Twitch, where you're in front of a mic and you're performing in front of people, I think it's given me that confidence to go and do things. So I don't know if that makes sense. Some people, I mean, if you speak to, John, pretty much we did a stream in November for Three the Hard Way, and he was the only person on the mic. I wouldn't get on the mic. No way. I wouldn't get on the mic. I just wanted to play my tunes. And I was really anxious and nervous about going on the mic. So when we did our first Coffee and Donuts in January, John went, nah, mate, you're going on the mic. And it was just, and that was it. It just, music is a craft, isn't it? Everybody's individual and everybody does things differently. And like what Jim was saying about his set on Friday night, that was killer.
Yeah,
absolutely killer set. And
thanks, Paul.
Man, I was saying to Jim about, I'm going to go way off the subject, man, but his music's got soul. It's alive. His tracks, they're I'm not just saying it because Jim's in the room. I'm not bigging Jim up or anything like that. But despite what he said about my DJing,
I was teasing you, bro. But don't analyze that. Don't think into it too much. I was strictly joking. I promise. I promise.
I'm not. But when I had those records come the other day and I dropped them, right? And there's certain records that I'm a selector. I think I've got a good ear for music. For me, my wife says it. A few other people have said it, and I'm a selector. So I'm a selector of music, right? I'm not a DJ. I'm a selector. So when I put his records on, the hairs on my arms. Certain music does it for me, and the hairs on my arms. And it doesn't matter how many times I play that record or any of your records. That's what it does. It's like it's alive.
Oh, thanks, Paul, man. I appreciate you saying that, dude. Really, really.
No, yeah, I mean it. I'm not just saying it. You know what I mean? I mean what I say, and that, you know, certain records do it, and that record, Baz Blanco, holy moly!
It's a great track. There's a great edit. I played it about 2 hours ago at a barbecue, and you know, you could see people sort of looking up, thinking, you know, what is this? You know, they know it, but obviously it's got a completely different flip on it. And again, I'm not saying that just because you're in the room, Jim. You know, it is a great track.
It's cool. I listen, guys. I like honestly from the heart. It does mean a lot to me. I don't walk around thinking my shit doesn't stink or anything like that. I really do appreciate when people reach out and say nice things like it. You know, like
You said about anxiety. Do you get anxiety when you put out a new record and a new edit about how it's going to be received?
It's an interesting one because I like, so there's the side, like I guess everyone has different sides to themselves, and I'm, you know, I to certain degrees I feel like I've got different sides of myself, and so like I wouldn't put out a record if I didn't love it and I didn't believe in it and I didn't and I didn't think it was dope. Like and so I kind of like with stuff like that, I kind of take that swagger in that direction, and I don't have anxiety with it. But like and you know, I'm sure some people out there, and I like I'm sure some people out there are thinking, well, you know, Jim's an established guy in the 45 scene and this and that. What does he have to worry about? Man, I'm constantly worried about saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, rubbing someone the wrong way, like or you know, or just like standard things of like, whoa, what if people think I'm whack? Like all of those things come into like swirl around my head, and you know, I have to talk myself off the ledge, the figurative ledge, by the way. And you know, a lot of times it's connecting with homies and getting like with a lot of stuff like that. I try to get feedback from homies. So guys like Zimmy and Double A and Danny Bounce and my Donuts homies. You know, you get feedback because you know, as much as I said I'm pretty confident by the time I put something out, a lot of times until I make that decision, I'm not all that confident. So like, we're like, and I guess, and I'm not like, I really hope I'm not coming off with a big head in any way, shape, or form here. But I guess I'm just trying to say that no matter what level where you're at in the scene or in life or whatever, you know, anxiety that can you know, affect you in a big way. I actually reposted in a story, like Ryan Reynolds suffers from anxiety, and that dude's like one of the funniest guys on the planet, and probably one of the best looking dudes on the planet as well. Like a great actor, obviously a millionaire, and he suffers from anxiety. So like, it affects all of us in whatever our life is, really, I think.
Yeah, and I guess it's also like you're saying, it's very different to sort of say just putting out an edit in a digital format, but then taking that leap to getting it pressed up on 45 as well. And I guess it's I mean, you know, you've got to be sure. Well, you don't have to be sure, but obviously, you know, it's committing it to wax, isn't it? And it's important. And you know, it must be nice when you get, like, for example, a repress on you know, Shake That Ass, because, you know, that's an amazing edit, and, you know, it was going for some crazy prices, and I guess that must be quite a good feeling. Is that a good feeling when you see your record going for crazy money on Discogs?
Yeah, man. Like, it's yeah. So when the records go for a lot of money on Discogs, it's cool, but at the same time, it's whack to me as well, just because it's a fucking 45, man. Like, it shouldn't be 100. Should never be 100 pounds. Sorry for cussing, but it should never be 100 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, and that's some of the reason why I did that repress specifically. I had a conversation with Khan, from Khan and Amir Khan, and he does great edits, and we were talking about it, and he goes, dude, as soon as any one of your edits gets to big money on Discogs, just repress it. Why are other people getting money for your stuff? Like, anyway, so
I think Boca 45 was doing the same, wasn't it? I think because his I think it was his 2020 donuts, wasn't it? The coloured versions, he was pressing them, but then he pressed like the box set. So obviously, you know, the individual ones weren't as valuable because you could just buy the box set for like 50 quid or whatever it was. But
shout out to Boca.
Yeah.
What? There's a box set of the 2020s. Damn.
I think it's 2020. Yeah,
I love a good box set.
Well, isn't there? I think.
I've got the album up here.
Yeah.
From last year, the donuts one.
Yeah, I think it's that one that he did as a box set, or maybe the years before. But I mean,
sorry to
interrupt. Rush. Here we go. Sideshow.
Here we go. Disco
Wax. It's not when... But yeah, here we go. Sideshow's on Juno.
Forget Juno.
No way. Are you in commission?
I'm just going to do one more thing with you.
I'm not looking at it.
We'll do the 45s that lift your spirits. Tell us about Wednesdays on Wax. That's a great show. I love it, and, you know, my view is one of the best shows on Twitch. You know, how do you find presenting that show? How do you find in terms of this whole crazy when someone plays a track and then it goes bonkers on Discogs? You know, how do you find the show? I mean, I love it. You know, it's great.
I mean, so Wednesdays on Wax is if you didn't tune in for the 50th episode, the way it all came about was like at the start of lockdown, Premiere and RZA did that versus thing, and I was watching it, and so after I watched it, I was like,
no way,
we should do a 45s thing like that, of a split screen. And so I called Mark and I was like, yo, this is what we should do. And then I guess he thought about it. And next day he hit me with the email going, this is a great idea. And then Wednesdays on Wax was born. Like he gave it the name Wednesdays on Wax. And then for a while we were doing like the whole Instagram split screen thing. But we were also trying to do it direct audio, so that people would have to speak through mics anyway. So then once we moved to Twitch, you know, it took a life of its own. But it's for me personally, like I've been able to link up with some of my heroes, some homies I haven't spoke to in ages. I've kind of the whole interviewing game. Like I'm not a journalist. I'm not like an interviewer. I'm not Sean Evans on Hot Ones, even though he's one of my heroes. But like I'd kind of taken that interviewing game to a next level. For me, was a lot of fun, like doing the research, coming up with the questions, and just I guess honing my host kind of skills was really dope. But also like the way the community has embraced the show and has gotten involved, and like someone will throw a record on and then it'll be gone off of Discogs like that. It's so cool. And in fact, like one show, I knew that was going to happen on one show. So, and I think it was what was it? I think it was Rich Medina played I've got days like this on 45. I didn't even know it existed on 45. So so he told me his track list, and I was like, what? And so before the show, I went on Discogs and bought a copy.
How many?
No. I only bought one for myself, but I just wanted to make sure I would get one at an okay price before we set it on Wednesdays on Wax. And in fact, who was it?
Z Trip, I think, was it?
Z Trip.
Z Trip, yeah.
Like Z Trip did that one record, and they all went like that. Danny Bounce. I don't think it was Wednesdays on Wax, but we were watching a stream. Was it Wednesdays on Wax? Anyway, and someone played a Freaknik record, and I didn't realize that was what it was, and we both went on at the same time, and I think I paid 30 or 40 for the record, and I was like, oh man, I just paid 40 for it. And Danny was like, I just got one for 15. I was like, no, curse you, Danny Bounce.
Quick fingers.
Like you said, he's happy to share once he's got it in his hand. But no, I mean,
that's true.
It's my favorite show on Twitch, and you guys have killed it. And it is really great to see how the viewers' numbers are increasing each week, and the guests getting better and better and better. It's like, it's amazing. And I like the four of you take turns to interview people, and I think my favorite bit was when Naughty NMX and Nappy were sort of having a bit of a party, and then you came in at about 10 o'clock. You're like, right, guys, I think that's it. Let's end the show here. 10 o'clock curfew, guys. It's like
ding, 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 ding. Ring the bell in the pub.
Last orders.
Yeah.
And last weekend, Mark. This week actually, I think, wasn't it? Mark Hype.
This week,
Mark Hype was pretty drunk at that show. J-Star seemed to be holding it together. I'm assuming J-Star was drinking as much as Mark, but he seemed to be holding it together.
Serious rummage.
Well, listen, I also have to give a shout out to all my Dusty Donuts brothers, DJ Runix, DJ Gatsa, DJ Suspect in Paris, obviously, the man Mark Hype, Naughty NMX, and DJ Robert Smith. And it's been really cool. And it'll be interesting. Like I think the plan going forward is to keep it going, even when the restrictions kind of let up. But it'll be interesting to see sort of viewership and things like that. And the other interesting thing part about it is that we were able to get great guests because they weren't touring the world. Everyone was home, so like I could holler at Z Trip and go, hey, are you around on Wednesday at like noon? and he'd be like, yeah, we can do that. But will that happen again? I don't know.
I mean, I think
Wednesday, so it's a good day. I think.
Again, being on a Wednesday night, the reality is probably most of those DJs are not going to be. They're not going to be DJing probably on a Wednesday night. And equally, even if they are, say they're in whatever country they are, there's no reason why they can't link up with like this on StreamYard or whatever. And just chat. So, and again, it's increasing their profiles and everything. So, hopefully it'll carry on. I think it's those sort of shows that may carry on for a longer period of time than maybe some of the stream shows, because obviously a lot of the bigger DJs are probably going to go back to touring, like you say.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
We're going to move on to Mark Lancaster's in the chat, and he came up with this question. We're going to start with Sideshow, I think. So Mark Lancaster's been a guest on the show, and he came up, I think, the very first episode we did with Double P and Mr. Musto. He said, I said, have you got any questions? And he said, yeah, let's what 45s lift your spirits? So, and it's become a regular feature.
It's a regular thing.
Sideshow, where do you want to start?
So you're going for me? Oh, hello, it's me, yes. We'll go with a Canadian banger to start us off. Is it going to be Gymsharp? Sorry, buddy, it's not today. It's another banger. It's an absolute... Like, it's when it kicks in, you know what it's all about. I don't know if you can see this.
Hey!
West Coast Wishing.
Oh, yeah. Tune.
Big up the gaff. What a dope.
Don't know this
What?
record. Go pay lots of money for it on Discogs.
What a dope DJ. Also, he's got one of the. He's so happy every time you see a stream. I mean, you know. Again,
what's the gym with you guys, Canadians?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure everyone's got. He comes across it. It's such a great watch his streams.
Even the flip side is deadly. Oh, come on, get it. Yeah. Which has also been repressed on Friday's Funky 45s. Ain't got no time.
Well, so the repress of that has who is it? Featurecast on one side, and then Gaff and Featurecast on the other side. So but the flip side of that is Stevie Wonder's
the West Coast Wishing.
Yeah. I wish over over some West Coast thing. Anyway, it's a top 45 as well.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. When I first heard it, I think who played it first? Yeah, I'd heard it like 2 or 3 times, and by the third time, I was like, "Yeah, I need that now. It's time to go to Discogs and pull some triggers." I'm gonna West Coast Wishing.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna stunt on you real quick. When I played with Gaff in South London, he gave me a couple copies of this.
A couple of copies. Now they're not found in your Bandcamp, your Discogs. They're not for sale yet. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, you never get to meet these guys. I didn't even know of the Gaff until this year. And then had him as a guest on Shambra. He's a totally legend. Like Scratch Bastard, always happy. He's an absolute killer DJ as well. Makes dope edits. Yeah. Big up Canada. You guys know what's up.
He played a killer.
Second best country in the world after Scotland.
Just
like a big Scotland.
Can I just big up Criztoz for the shortest ever stream on Zambra? Sorry.
Yes, big up Criztoz for the shortest ever stream. A 2-minute stream. Gotta give it up.
In case anyone didn't hear what happened, so Double P was playing his set and his laptop was about to die. And
terrible.
The Roots Daughters, I think, were meant to be up next, and they weren't live. I said to Sideshow, "Look, I'm ready. You know, I'll jump on as soon as they're ready. They can come on. That's cool." So literally went on. I said, "Hi everyone," and then they're live. I was like, "Right, bye everyone," and we raided straight back on again. I think it was like 2 minutes. I need an award for that. But
what you got the laptop now, so I'm good to go. You know.
Yeah, you got your new laptop. What have you got next, Sideshow?
Number 2. So it's a double header, really. It was too hard to decide. Obviously, I could have looked through my records and probably found more, but I thought, okay, these ones came to mind first, so I was like, I'll go for this. Shout outs to Nick Goodlife. She played this on her stream a few months ago. I was like, what? On 45? I love this song since it came out in the 90s.
Can I say something? Paul Sitter suggested taking it out of the plastic, but we
can't blow Lucchini. This is it. Shame it's on Get On Down, so the audio quality is terrible.
Yeah.
But it's Lucchini, man. What? This is it. What? On the B-side is also deadly. Swing. If you've seen the music video for Lucchini, it's the last bit they played, like the last minute or something. Okay, also, cool. Special shout outs to Jim knows what's up. This is one of his favorite records as well. B-boy anthem, hip hop anthem. So we have a double parter there.
Hey Maule, I got a great story about the Camp Low as well, actually. I was in a little, but no, but so I was in Bristol, and I have a crew in Bristol that I play with called Sip the Juice, and so Camp Low was touring, and they needed a DJ to play their show, so I got to be Camp Low's DJ for the night, which was super dope. But then afterwards, we went out for Chinese food, and I'm sitting there with the guys, and I went, hey guys, it's pretty exciting that Lucchini's coming out on a 45, right?
Oh God!
And they both looked at me blank faced and went, "What?
You what?"
And I was like, yeah, like the on profile. I think I showed them on my phone. I was like, "See, it's getting re-released," and they were like, "Yeah, no one told us about that at all."
Yeah, profile, get on down. Yeah.
So
Nice.
So on that level though, it's not like Profile would call Campbell and be like, oh, by the way, we're releasing around 7. Like Profile own it. You know what I mean? But
Okay, yeah.
it's just funny that like possibly a lot of those hip hop artists don't even know that these 45 get on down represses exist.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, same with the Wu-Tang ones as well.
Is that 2 or 3?
That was still 2.
Still 2.
Yeah, that was 2. Okay. I also have another double header.
Another double header. So it's 3, not 5. Guys, but keep going.
Yeah, I can't really count. I'm an English teacher, not a math teacher.
We haven't got any time limits. Keep going.
If that doesn't get your hairs on end standing up, then you must be some sort of zombie.
Such a tune.
But also, there's another tune from this lovely lady here, Alicia Myers.
You're frozen.
I want to thank you, Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
I'm not frozen. You frozen? I want to thank you. Oh,
yeah, that's a great
two
selection.
big, massive gospel songs that if they don't get you going and raise your spirits, then there's something wrong with you. You need to check your pulse.
That's an amazing.
And that was my 3:45s.
Right.
Sorry, I
Paul,
was cheating.
Yo,
have you got 3 or have you got 5?
I've got
45. 45. Oh my god. Are they all Jim Sharp records?
No, sadly not. They
must
were.
Be just one.
They were, but I just no.
Yeah, so after that DJ comment.
That's it. Yeah.
Not anymore, Jim.
Double P, I love you, baby.
I know. So the first one is Frankie Valli and the Night. This one, I can remember this when I was a kid, and it was I've been trying to find it for years, and I had this record in my head since I was a kid, and then I heard it on the radio, and I asked my wife because she's Northern Soul, and then that one there. So can you see that on the camera?
Up a bit.
Back a bit.
To you.
Stand on your hands.
Vision.
There you go. Forward.
And then straight forward. To me.
Yay!
It's getting it. It's coming. Why
would anyone watch the BBC when we've got classic like this going on?
I know.
Only for Chuckle Vision.
I'm going to get back up again. So the next one. Okay. So Mantronics. Who is it?
Ooh.
This one. I bought this. This is OG. I bought this when I was 14, I think it was, from a paper, 1986. Who is it? That's a quality track. I've still got it on 45.
Nice.
The next one, I'm going to stand up. Supernature by Sharon. Disco track. I'm into my disco big time. I haven't played a disco. I've done 2 disco sets on Twitch. My mum was heavily into disco. Rest in peace. But that's in me. So you've got that one on 7. And then my 4th one.
Hey!
Yay!
Not Jim Sharp, it's Casablanco.
Damn right, man. That's a killer track. If there's any copies left, buy it.
I mean this one.
What one? Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You got you guys.
I'm still waiting for me.
Love you all.
That was a great edit. That was really great.
I'll get mine when Brexit is over.
But I did have. I did have J1.
Hold on. No, Maule. I definitely. I sent yours out. Like, it went out. Probably. What day is it today?
This week or something.
Wednesday. Wednesday it got sent.
Cool.
I just haven't updated. I just haven't updated the tracking numbers. I have like sheets and sheets from the post office of tracking numbers that I have to update on Bandcamp, and I'm totally not looking forward to.
It's not going to arrive in Europe in 3 days, though, is it? Currently, I mean that's
Germany.
It's really funny. Like I ordered a record from Japan last Friday, and it arrived on the Tuesday or Wednesday, I think it was.
Wow.
From Japan. And I've got records on the way from the UK that left on the 13th. Still not here.
So
that's
the moral
madness.
of the story is order all your wax from
Buy
Japan.
from Japan. Also Sweden, 2 days delivery from Sweden.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's no need
Yeah,
to boast
UK is
about
like
in the
Brexit
European
nonsense.
Union.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, you're
Yeah.
out. You voted
Yeah.
out. You're
Yeah.
out.
We're out. We're out. That's
What an
it.
absolutely ridiculously stupid decision that was.
Yeah. And we also got
Makes
nil
no
point in the Eurovision.
No.
That was, I think that was obviously some political statement from everyone.
No.
Yeah.
Give the Brits nothing. give their points to Australia.
How can they even be in Eurovision anymore?
Exactly. What?
It's wild cards. The Australia. Oh, how can the Europe? How can Europe be? How can the UK be in the Eurovision?
No.
Exactly.
Wow.
Get
Always
out.
Shout out to Fat Wax, Mark Lancaster. They said that they get all the UK bods got the records last week. And shout out to everyone who bought it and bought them. I really truly appreciate it. So thank you.
Right, Jim.
I have a general question. I need to. I've got a room full of 7-inch 45s heads, and I'm gonna float a couple of. So I'm coming up with a new 45 night in London,
Cool.
and I got some names I need to float. So
Nice. Poll. Can we do polls?
The gaff.
Yeah.
So. Should I start with the okay? I'll start with the ones that I don't really like, and then we'll end off on the one that I really like, and let me know what you think. Okay, so ones 7 cinch, like it's a cinch, 7 cinch. No, okay. 45 special, like the gun. Don't really want to go that direction. Okay, so you know how you fortify something. 4 to 5. Just call the night 4 to 5. Okay.
No.
And here's the one. Let me know if you get this one. 5, the number 5, and then written TIMES times 5 times 9. So the night will be called 5 times 9.
Yeah.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
I get the maths.
So what's 5 times 9?
Well, exactly. I get. I'm not sure.
No, independent.
Does 5 times 9 suck? Because I really like it. I think it's I think it's slightly clever. Because
5 heads might get it, but then everyone else is going to be like, what? 5
times 9?
Exactly. They'll be asking themselves, what is 5 times 9 anyway?
I don't even know. I need a calculator.
45.
It's 45.
Yeah.
What does that have
Anyway,
to do with 45 records?
Well,
so what were the options? 45? 45?
4 to 5.
45. It's a thumbs down from Fat Wax, I'm afraid.
Job Fat Wax.
Yeah.
The Arse Council. The Arse Council says no.
The Ass Council says no.
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 Okay,
No
well,
funding.
What about, Groove Demosa's got one for you. Call it Little Thangs.
Little things.
Little records.
Not bad. Not bad.
Cool.
Like
Little
that.
things with big bangs.
What about
Here we go. Mrs. Pitsy.
45.
Pitsy.
Ooh.
40 vibes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You'd have to send.
45.
You'd have to send her a free 45 if you use that name.
Half the money to. Is
Yeah,
it
that's my
Mrs.
wife, man.
Pitsy or is it Mr.
That's my
Spitzy?
wife. My wife.
Oh, that's your wife. Is that right?
Your wife?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. 45s, where all the DJs are 45.
That would make sense. Mrs. Pitsy. Yeah.
I'm 45.
Not
so
Mr. Spitzy.
DJ's 45. Just saying.
Shout out to Mrs. Pitsy. I think 40 vibes might be the winner.
Yeah.
There's still more coming in. There's more coming in.
It still could be 5 times 9, bitches.
What about centerless? Again, only the 45s DJs are going to get that.
Yeah.
You can't really use dinked because we got the record label dinked.
Yeah.
And also, they're not all dinked, but I think 45s is pretty good.
Or 45 flavors.
Keep it simple, short.
Yeah,
Short.
I
think 45s. Well done, Mrs. Pitsy.
Okay, well, shout out to the whole chat room. But I might just make an executive decision. Let's get to these records. Anyway.
5 times 9.
Remember
if you
what
have 45s? Make sure you have
like
40s
in 2 years when 5 times 9 is a big club night. Y'all can remember where you heard it first.
No way.
And how you all shit on it as well. I like it. No, I'm kidding.
I think the thing is, Jim, that regardless of what it's called, if we can make it, we're going to be there. Regardless of what it's called, it doesn't matter what it's called.
Cool, perfect.
We'll be there.
All right, so my first. So this is a tough one. Like I as far as like uplifting 45s, I get hype when I play like 90s gangster East Coast hip hop. So like I as far as like hands in the air and just being all happy, it's like to think about tunes that do that for me is a weird thing. But I think I came up with some good ones. The first one is the 80s mix, not the standard mix, but the 80s mix of William Devon, Be Thankful for What You Got.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's all marked up.
Such a good tune. There's so many great versions as well, but that is
definitely that one's the banger. And in fact, that was a Wednesdays on Wax buy because I think Scratch Bastard played that on the episode, and I was like, I need a copy of that. The next one is I Believe It's All Right by Jack Jacobs. And it's a real positive joint. It's on Melodies International. Jack Jacobs. I don't know if we can, but it's a beautiful like soul tune, and he's basically saying everything's going to be all right, which is uplifting in itself. And then my last one is one that always makes me happy because it was probably my first favorite rap song. It came out in 88, 89, and it was and it's Canadian as well, and it has a ton of James Brown samples and that sort of thing in it, and that's Meister Fresh West, Let Your Backbone Slide. This is the OG press. This isn't the Flippin' J repress, although I got that one too. But yeah, the video for this, I remember watching the video in like, 9th grade or whatever, and just being amazed that he was from Toronto. So that song makes me really happy as well.
That's great.
And that's that.
Right. Okay. So my 3 for this week. I mean, the problem with me is obviously I have to do this every time I do a show.
Every week.
Every hold on, what's happening with my camera? There you go, that's better. It's getting a bit dark in here. I'll switch the light on actually. It's getting very dark. Yeah.
Nice. I've got the duck above my head. The other way.
Right. Okay. First one. I love this track, and I'm sure is
Bonita.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Five. Rest in peace. I mean, Tribe, probably one of my favorite hip hop groups, and I mean that one. Anytime you drop it, I think people just absolutely love it. And then this one is more recent, but it's on Aleem JD.
Bossa Nova?
Suave Bossa Nova, but that's the Mr. Thing edit, and it's really short, but it's like 1 minute 50, but it's just 1 minute 50 of pure amazingness. I mean, I spoke to Mr. Thing about that, and he said, well, there's not much there in the first place, so I've sort of extended it, and sort of he's made it like almost 2 minutes. And then this I love. If I can, I'll probably drop this in most sets when I'm playing out, and it's Blow Your Head, Fred Wesley and the JBs.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
sir.
just love the intro of that, and then sort of trying to chop it up a little bit. So that's that. Right. So we've done the 45s. The next thing that we all like is I like confectionery. Sideshow, I'm going to come to you last. I think.
Nice. I have to go to the toilet anyway, so that's good.
All right, that's
Pause. Time out. Don't
double
talk
P.
about
Let's
chocolate
get
when I'm
to
not
you.
here.
Yeah.
I have to mute my mic in case you hear me. You gotta want to hear that, do you?
Hang on, mate.
Stop saying that's the chair.
That's the chair.
There's something going on in the background. While we're waiting for this, I'm going to give Air Adam a shout. I know that I think he raided into Paul Sitter early on with a big numbers, 160 or something like that. So big up Air Adam. Big up everyone again who played this weekend. It's been great. And this is the sort of last section, so I'm just giving Groove the Most a little bit of a heads up, because he was meant to be playing overnight, I think, and I think time zones. We all know about time zones dealing with Twitch, but I think there's some area of the time zone. So he felt bad about it, and definitely wants to be part of this. So he's going to do a set after we finish. So probably in about 10-15 minutes, I think, once we've done this section, we'll raid over to Groove Demo. So it's just to sort of let him know to sort of be ready and live. I'll give you a couple of minutes heads up. So yeah, we're going to have another set after this. So the partying carries on. So Paul, you got some chocolate or candy for us? Oh yeah.
Revels?
Well, why do you like Revels?
Just reminds me of being a kid, man. The smaller packets. Yeah, that's and also the less sweets in the bag. There's loads there.
It's definitely a bigger packet than it was when we were kids.
Damn right, man. This is the maxi pack.
You're still paying chocolate roulette, because you'd get that coffee one and you just be like, oh, I hate
Yeah,
coffee.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, I can't do with the uncertainty of Revels.
Coffee ones are dope, y'all.
You hit that one that you're like, oh, that just wrecked the whole bag. But
Coffee Revels are the shiznit.
Oh, they're not. That's terrible. Coffee
When you get a raisin one, that's the problem. When you get a raisin,
Yeah,
but you can tell a raisin one a mile off.
very decisive.
Yeah, they're all like they've hit a wall or something. They're all like disfigured,
Mark, maybe you should email Revels and suggesting they do like literally a coffee version, just coffee sweets.
That would be
T2 Funk's with me, the worst one. Them coffee ones, yeah, coffee and chocolate.
Oh, T2 Funk. What do people don't know? The orange ones were great though.
Have you just got a load of coffee chocolates? Is that what you've got, Sideshow? Is that what you're building up to?
I want to know. Right, am I going to go next, or is it going to be?
Yeah, keep going.
These?
Oh,
lovely.
Oh, I'm a bit mixed. I do like them, but
They're killer, man. They're killer.
they're milky.
What you need is cola bottles, mate.
Yeah.
Them as well, man.
Hold up a little bit more.
Sorry.
Is it like marshmallow ones? There's like marshmallowy type ones.
Yeah. That's what I like, mate. They're lovely. Yeah. Really, 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 really nice, man. And because I play like sometimes I get on the Xbox, go live for a bit just to chill and take my head away from stuff. They last about 20 minutes. They're gone. See you later, mate. No sweet wrappers. You can just play and munch, So they're cool.
Play and munch.
M&M.
Peanut ones.
Classic.
They're not quite my favorite M&Ms. My friend lives in America, and I always, when he came over, I'd get him to get the almond M&Ms.
Yeah.
They're my favorite ones.
But I tried to get
those are decadent.
Yeah.
I tried to get jelly beans, but we couldn't find them yesterday, so I went with that.
What? Is there a jelly bean shortage?
Yeah, I know, they're all gone.
Brexit.
All gone.
Brexit, yeah.
Yeah. There's no jelly beans.
That was
bad. Right, Jim.
Oh.
What have you got for us?
So I've dropped the ball a little bit on this segment. But so just off the top of my head, I have to give a big shout out to Wine Gums, which are possibly decisive. But like divisive, not decisive. One of my divisive. and wine gums. Oh, and like I like a lot of they have these gummies in North America called real fruit gummies. And they're really soft, and they're actually made with real fruit juice, and those are my jam. But so I try not to eat a lot of candy just around the house or whatever, because all the beer does that. It gives me a big enough gut as is. So, but what I try to do, and apparently is good for you as well, is
nice.
Dark chocolate. Not milk chocolate, dark chocolate. 85%, 70, 85%.
High standard.
And it's a little bit bitter. But so are a lot of guys who play 45s. Just kidding. But apparently dark chocolate is actually good for your circulation and that sort of thing. So
can you just hold that up again though? Hold that packaging up again.
Lint.
No, the bottom. Robust
dark.
Robust dark, yeah. Not your fragile dark chocolate. It's your robust.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is man chocolate right here.
Yeah.
Yorkie's a man chocolate.
Yeah, Yorkie.
Yeah, antioxidants. Yeah, definitely. Just sorry, before we carry on, Groove the most. You said about how much time you got. So I think we've probably got about another.
That's German. Okay.
5-10 minutes max. So if you're ready to go at say 10 p.m. UK time, which I think
I've
will
got
be
like 10 minutes worth of candy here.
We'll ready to you. And yeah, great with red wine. You're more of a G&T man though, yeah? Are you a G&T man, Jim?
Yeah, G&T, rum and ginger beer, and beer.
Yeah. I had, talking of rum, I had rum with Tesco's. There's other supermarkets available. Do a Morello cherry sparkling drink, and a rum and cherry. It's almost like a cherry lemonade, but an adult cherry lemonade. That's quite nice.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Have you got any more sweets or chocolates, or is that your segment done?
That's me.
That's great. Me. Robust dark chocolate has done it. Here we go. Robust and dark. Jim's new name for his 45 night.
Shout out to John. Shout out to Mr. Musto.
He's going to go with a 5x9, mate, or what anybody says.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go next, and then we'll go to the German confectionery at the end. Okay.
I've got a whole supermarket over here waiting.
I'm going to the loo. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Thanks, Dolphy.
I'm going to miss the fun here.
Turn your mic off.
Hopefully, yeah. I think my mic is about to die, so I might have to switch to my actual DJ mic.
So since
I'm going to stand and talk to the wall like I do when I'm DJing.
Since we had Mr.
Wall,
and we had that debate about violent crumble, not violent.
Violet. There's nothing violent.
I've been going to the B&M stores. I've never been there before, and I found it. So I found some interesting things there this week. So the first one is this one, which is can you see that Kit Kat honeycomb?
What?
Nice.
Break it open, man. I need to see that.
I got only 105 calories.
Only for one little bar.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't just have one of those, do you? That's the problem.
How does it look inside? Can you open it?
It just looks like it. Well, you want me to open it and show you what it looks like?
Yeah, it's a honeycomb instead of wafer.
It looks like a Kit Kat.
Yeah, come on, bite it, man. Break that. Break it.
It says my break. And let's have a look. Yeah, look, it looks like a Kit Kat.
Weak sauce.
Did you see that there was a show? There's a show on Channel 4 called Snack Masters. Talking of Lego earlier, they do Lego Masters, where obviously kids and their parents, adults, go in and they make Lego. But there's Snack Masters where they get sort of Michelin-starred celebrity chefs to recreate chocolates and things like that. And they did Kit Kat, and it's amazing how much goes into a Kit Kat. For example, the chocolate stuff that's in between a normal Kit Kat is actually smashed up old versions of smashed up cast-offs of Kit Kats that have been used. So they scrunch those, mash those together, and that makes the filling. So yeah, there's a lot goes in. Okay, next one is Hershey's
No.
Cookies and cream. Oh, cookies and mint. Oh,
Cookies and
nice.
mint. Yeah. I fancy
Nice.
that one. And
I had a
last
fear that Hershey's was going to be in here somewhere.
I haven't tried these yet. I was quite
Yeah, I know.
interested, and I don't know what they're going to be like. But these are dime
Dime.
bars. These
What?
are. Can you see that?
Damn.
Caramel latte. Damn.
Caramel latte limited edition. That's a
Caramel
Wow.
three pack for £1. You can't go wrong with that.
Bargain.
I hope you don't have any fillings in your teeth.
I've got a lot of fillings. I've got a sweet tooth.
Dime bar is going to rip that right out.
It is. It melted down or something. Right, Sideshow.
Oh yeah, let's have a look in this bag.
Here we go.
Ich
We've got
war
some-
Ich habe eingekauft. I was
Right,
at
what does that
Rewe.
mean?
I went
Tell us
shopping.
in German.
Region, dein Markt. Your region, your market. So
That's a serious heavy bag, man.
if we were to start with gummies, I'm going to have to tell you I have a bit more than 3 here as usual. I can't count people. Come on. So we'll start off with some gummy sweets. I do like sour gummy things. I thought this would be funny to bring here first. Haribo, obviously, the kings of gummy sweets. Little German flags, people. German flags for the
flag.
football. Woo! And they're sour. So
What
That'd be
does
fun.
pasta mean? That says pasta flagger.
yeah, pasta flagger. Yeah. So
Flagger.
pasta is
Pasta flagger.
well, they call it noodling. Everything noodle here is pasta. To me, noodles is noodles. Like you go to
Yeah.
Japan, China, you get noodles. Everything in Germany, noodling is a pasta. Doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things like toastbrot, toast bread. It's not toast until it's toasted. It's just bread. But the Germans call it toastbrot, toast bread.
Good.
And I got these ones because I'd never seen them before. Lovely Fruit Mania. I think it's made with real fruit juice.
That looks a bit
Yogurt.
too healthy. They're made from yogurt.
Yeah, no, that's what I seen. I was like, oh, my yogurt and real fruit juice. Gotta get them done.
Wow. Hold on.
Hey, Maul, you
Yep.
mentioned toast, and
Toast, yeah.
the concept of toast. Who was the first genius to take a piece of bread and went, no, cook it again, and
Exactly.
and for a second time, and then who came up with toast? You know what I mean? Like, no
Yeah.
one cooks stuff twice. What a
It's
genius,
already
whoever that was.
Burn it again and put some butter on it.
Exactly.
Anyone? Fun fact? Anyone? Does anyone know the answer? Come on,
No.
people.
No.
We have like 20 viewers. Who knows the answer? I think Criztoz
Anyway,
is on the case.
What do you got next there?
Sorry, I was trying
I
to
got
get
some
rid of it.
Knoppers. An echten Berliner Marke here. Knoppers.
Knoppers.
Knoppers, yeah. So we have
Is it
peanut
is it
butter chocolate bar.
Erdnuss Regal. That looks a bit like a upside down double decker, maybe.
No, it doesn't have that nougat.
is it a silent K? Is it just knoppers, or is it actually knoppers?
Knoppers. Because Germans like to pronounce every letter in the word. Not like in English we have silent Ks. So it's Knoppers. So what do we have here? Chocolate with peanut butter sauce. We have wafer. We have like hazelnut, chocolate cream. Everything in here. Everything in there. From Stork aus Berlin. From Berlin. This is the peanut butter version.
That looks
The
good.
best one. The normal one's just like hazelnut. It's like, I think Germans really love hazelnut chocolate
Yeah.
on anything, especially on toast. Another German classic, Dickmans. But Dickman, you translate Dickman as fat man.
Dickman.
Dickman, Schokostrolche. It's little bits of marshmallow with the wafery biscuit at the bottom. I'm not really a fan of these. I bought them for the joke.
Whoa.
They put like,
Dickmans.
they put
You
like
could
a
put them
tea
lower and call them Dickmans as well, but yeah. It's like a big tea cake.
like a really cool.
look at that wee-
So
look at that
I
wee
just got a real good screenshot of Dickman's.
Yes.
I'll be posting up later.
Dickman.
Send it to your Dusty Donuts boys. They love it, Dickmans.
Tomorrow or later.
10 Stück Mini Schokoküsse. So little chocolate kisses. Oh, for Maxi Spaß. A lot of fun. Knoppers is done. Maxi Spaß. Maximum fun. Maxi Spaß. Yeah. The last two One causes controversy on Tommy T's channel.
Yeah.
That's one I think you can actually get in the UK, and I just bought it because of the name.
Hmm?
Wunderbar,
Wunderbar.
Wunderbar, which you can get in the UK, I'm sure. It's a bit like a biscuit boost until I realised there was peanuts in it, and I was like, oh.
Like a peanut.
Shout out to Biscuit Boost. Shout out to Biscuit Boost.
Yeah, but they
What
used to
happened to
do,
Biscuit
didn't they?
Boost?
Boost. They used to have like I think the
I think they had a
coconut
peanut one.
They had a
Yeah.
peanut one. And they had the biscuit one. It's only the biscuit one that seems to have survived till now.
The best one, I think. Yeah. And then we have the controversial, the king of biscuits and the king of chocolate bars. Is it a biscuit? Who knows? I'll let you decide.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
best. Come on, people. Caramel, biscuit, chocolate.
Oh, I don't know.
You know it makes sense. You know it makes sense.
I like
Is it a
Twix.
biscuit? Is it a
They do-
chocolate
they do
bar?
a white-
Is it
they do a
both?
white- They do a white chocolate Twix, which is quite nice.
Also good, yeah.
Maul,
That concludes my.
Maul, does the left Twix taste better than the right? Or
I think we should rename it Twitch. The Twitch Extra. Depends which way you want it.
You have that advert Sideshow in Germany.
Yeah, we
where-
have that same one, yeah.
Yeah.
Except they have Augustus Gloop. Here's the young boy. Hello, Augustus Gloop.
I know some swear words in German, but not
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. One of the greatest films ever.
Right up each end and use a straw for your tea. What, with a Twix? Can you do that with a Twix?
What?
Yeah.
I think
No, I
someone
used
said
to
about you can do it with a Kit Kat because
I used
obviously
to eat the biscuit part off the bottom and then roll the caramel and chocolate in a ball and eat the ball. That was
It's a
one
bit
of my
like a
many
double-
ways of eating Twixes.
yeah. I'll eat the bottom of the double decker
I
first,
never did that with double decker. No.
and then the new
Double deckers. Shout out to double deckers. They are also the bomb.
who uses a straw in their tea?
Yeah, that's also a good point.
tea cake. Tea cake.
Tea cake.
Mrs. Fatwax.
Mrs. Fatwax. She needs some
But
tea
it's
cakes.
like-
They like tea cakes. But not
Surely
really.
the caramel gets in the middle of. Anyway, right.
You melt that caramel. I tried to make caramel the other week. Failed miserably.
You need a candy thermometer, don't you, to do that?
I don't know. I tried to
Right.
cook it for like 3 hours, and it was still like I could hear it rolling around like milk. I was like, okay, I'll try that again. Another hour and a half. I opened it. It was just milk. Sorry, guys. No more caramel. I also wanted to make shortbreads, but I forgot to.
I think we're pretty much there. Sideshow, as my mod, can you look and see if Groove the Most is live, or can someone tell me if Groove the Most is live, and then we'll
The
we'll
big
raid
man
out.
with the records.
Thank you, everyone. Again, it's been a great show. Thank you for sharing your life experiences, for being open and honest, and talking about things that are really important. You know, we've covered mental health, we've covered anxiety, we've covered all sorts of things today. And again, we've had a few laughs, which is great, and that's the whole point of talking to anyone. And you know, we've had a good time. And like I always say, if anyone wants to, we'll come back to Paul Sitter in a minute. If anyone wants to talk to anyone, and if you're having a bad day, or you're just not, feeling it, or feeling meh, or just not worried, just we're a great community. Everyone is always happy to talk. Just drop any of us a message, anyone in the 45 Kings group, a message in the 45-day community, and just say hi, and you're not feeling it, or how are you, or whatever, and then we're always here, always happy to chat to anyone. Paul Sitter, where is Tor beer, guys?
Where's your beer?
Tor beer.
Where's your beer?
Where's your beer?
I'm
Okay.
currently on a Radeberger Pilsner here.
Okay, my beer is here. So
Radeberger
I like
Pilsner.
Brewdog, but I do like Brewdog. I'm drinking Juice Shack, which is
The
tropical milk.
Juice Shack is
Yeah.
a little love place where we
Well,
drink juice and beer.
I'm drinking tea.
Tea. What are you drinking?
Was on a cuppa.
I was drinking squash.
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 It's a Sunday night, bank
Isn't
holiday.
that a game? Isn't that a game?
It is a game. Okay, did we find out is Groove the Most live?
He's live, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll set the raid going in 2 seconds.
Pick up
Let me
Groove the
make sure I
Most.
spell his name right.
Thanks for
Because
having me.
Groove,
Thanks to everyone that came and enjoyed
okay,
Sunday
cool.
Sevens. And the 52-hour raid train.
It's
MOAST.
DAMOAST. Okay, cool. I've got it set. Okay, let's get that.
Big ups everyone for donating, taking part, DJing.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. I think we made some more money during the Carl made some more money during it. We're up to 434. We're at 86%.
Someone dropped 30.
It'd be great if we can hit 50. We've got another set at the moment coming up from Groove the Most. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
86%. Let's go.
Great. I'll be speaking to Double P and we'll arrange another one.
Oh, it's from Jimmy Boy.
Maybe in 3 months' time.
Shout out to Jim.
Jim, thank you very much. There we go. Yeah. Thank you everyone who's DJ'd. Thank you everyone who's taken part. Thank you everyone who's donated. Thank you everyone who's been part of the community, the 45 Kings 45 Day, Twitch, Dusty Donuts, online community, everyone. You know, you've helped all of us get through it. And a couple of shout outs before we go. We have, if I can find it. So next episode of this is on the 14th of May. I'm talking to Lady Melzer and Sucker Punch 45. Tomorrow night, is 45 Raiders. We've got 7 DJs playing. That's going to be great.
Damn.
And 7th of June, 45 Funksters, Nick Goodlife, Sideshow, Mark Funk 45, DJ Jezabella, myself, and Metro Sessions. And again, if anyone needs any help, you can talk to someone. So we're about to raid out. That's 7 seconds out. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to all my guests, Sideshow, Double P, Jim. It's been great. Thank you very much.
See you later.
Okay.
Peace.
Peace out, man.